Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of I Am LaToya Rena. If you are new here, welcome. If you've been here before, hey y'all. Today we are going to try a brand new medication for my eczema.
Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Still not understanding.
And it is called Nemluvio. If you've already been here before, you know that I tried Dupixent earlier in the year, and unfortunately I had an injection site reaction. I actually had injected in one of my legs. I can't remember which one. I might have done both of them actually, because I think I had a couple of dosages of it. But with both times, I developed welts across my legs, swelling, and then eventually bruising. And so my dermatologist decided that that is not the right medication for me. And we tried a whole nother medication, an oral medication called Cibinco. And the thing with Cibinco is that it is effective in some folks. However, if you're on birth control, it's essentially contraindicated. And I am on birth control. But I'm not on your typical birth control of like pills and things like that. So my dermatologist thought that it might be a good idea to go ahead and try it. It was not a good idea. I ended up having some bruising yet again, and we were concerned about blood clots. I ultimately ended up having to get an ultrasound done in the emergency department to make sure I didn't have blood clots, and it was negative, thank goodness. And so we stopped taking that medication immediately as well. So now we are going to try another one. It's called Nemluvio. And if you're wondering why I'm not trying topicals or, your typical creams, steroids, things like that, it's because for the most part, those things already work for me. I have Eucrisa, I have clobetasol, and I have a couple of other things as well. And for the most part, I don't even have to use those things because my eczema is so well controlled because I made great lifestyle changes when I entered into adulthood. Some of those changes include not taking hot showers because hot showers dry out your skin. I take lukewarm showers, which I know is alarming to some folks, but that's what I've been doing, I don't know, for 15, 16 years. And it's worked for me. I also stay away from acidic things like tomatoes because that is a trigger for me as well. I've definitely just made lots of different lifestyle changes. And so for the most part, my eczema is pretty good. And after I had my daughters, I have twin daughters who are 9. After I had them, my eczema cleared up even better. However, I have had a flare-up situation in an area for, I don't know, at least 2 years now. And we have tried multiple things and it is not going away. We've even biopsied it. It's been a nightmare, quite honestly. And so that's why we tried the Dupixent. That's why we tried the clobetasol. And now, or not clobetasol, forgive me. That's why we tried the Cibinco. And now we're trying the Nemluvio, which this is an injectable as well. This is the box that it comes in. It is a medication that has to be shipped to you. It is a very pricey medication, but I was able to get like some sort of waiver thing. My dermatologist worked really hard to get that for me. I think it's because it's a newer med and things like that. So we got that. So today I'm going to explain to you how to take this medication. This is my very first time trying it. We're doing the loading dose, which is actually going to be 2 of these, y'all. But we're going to get it done. It's going to be great. And hopefully, I can tolerate this medication. So we're going to get started now. The first thing I want y'all to be mindful of is this is the pen with the medication in it. And if you can look as a reference to like my hand, it is a pretty good size pen. It's much larger than like your Wegovy and things like that. If you're on my channel because of my Wegovy weight loss journey, this pen is much larger. Wegovy's probably this long, so it's much larger. It's quite impressive. But this is the pen. And essentially what you're going to do with this first is you have to let this sit out outside of the refrigerator for 30 to 45 minutes. This is the very first thing you have to do. So if you're, thinking about, oh, let me do this before I go to bed, you're probably not, giving yourself enough time. You know what I mean? You need 30 to 45 minutes of this sitting out in the elements of your home before you begin anything. The next step, of course, is to wash your hands. Then you're going to gather supplies. That includes your pen, that includes alcohol pads, that includes a sharps container for, you know, because there's a needle in here. Any of those things, you need all of that. They suggest that you check the expiration date to make sure that it's not expired. So I'm looking at that now, which is on the back of the pen, and it says it expires in August of 2026. All right. The next thing you're going to do is activate your Nemluvio pen. If you can see, which I'm not sure if you can, there is a green and gray lock and an unlock. The gray is locked, the green is unlocked. So currently, if you see the black arrow here, you can tell that it's currently locked. But then I'm going to turn this where it's unlocked. The instructions do say to hold the pen upright when you do this. So I'm going to do that. Don't do it like this, do it like that. And then I am going to click it over. And you should start seeing the gray plunger come across with the medication. There is a liquid in here as well as a powder. This is essentially where the medications meet, and they need to fully dissolve together. You're going to want to watch the gray rod, and once it's done moving, you want to actually dissolve the medication by shaking it. And they suggest that you shake it for 30 seconds. So I'm going to do that now.
A few moments later.
The next step is to wait 5 minutes to make sure that the bubbles in here decrease. Next, you want to check the medication window and make sure that there's no powder that you can see in the solution and that the bubbles have decreased. Now here comes the fun part. It's time to consider where you're going to inject the medication. Just like Wegovy and just like even Dupixent, you have a couple of options. You can either do 2 inches away from your belly button on your abdomen, or you can do the top portion of your thigh. I am going to do my abdomen for this video. All right, guys, the next step is to make sure you have your alcohol pad, and wherever you're going to inject, go on ahead and clean that. And like I said, I'm going to do my abdomen, so I'm cleaning this area. The next thing you're going to do is twist the gray cap. And there are arrows on here. I'm gonna see if you can see it. There's arrows, 2 arrows going in different directions. You're gonna twist it in the direction of the arrows. So the cap has come off. And just like with Dupixent and Wegovy, there is a needle deep in there. All right, now at this point, we are going to inject the medication in my abdomen. And this should be interesting because I found that with injectable medications, each of them feel a little differently. So we'll see how painful or painless this medication is now. It does state that you want to inject this for a total of 15 seconds. So I'm going to do it now. And I actually just did it for 20 seconds just to be sure. So we are all done there. I'm gonna see if I can stick this top back on. Nope, you cannot. So that is important to note, that you cannot stick the top back on, guys. But we are done with the first one. All right, guys, so I'm gonna do the next one. I've already done steps 1 through infinity already, and we are officially ready to take the cap off and inject the medication. So taking that top off. I've already wiped my abdomen, and now I'm ready to inject. And something to note is that I do still have a little bit of bleeding going on with the first injection. I'm not going to go directly in the same spot. I'm probably going to go a little above. So we're going to do that now. All right, and my loading dose is officially in. Moving forward, I will not be taking 2 pens simultaneously. That's just the loading dose. Your doctor may prescribe something differently, but that is what my doctor prescribed. But the meds in. So now we're just going to watch for side effects. All right, so some of the side effects to be mindful of is, of course, injection site reaction, pain, rash. You may also experience a fast heart rate. Some additional side effects to be mindful of is your eczema may even worsen. You may develop swollen lymph nodes and even develop some nausea and fever. So those are things to keep in mind. I will let you guys know in an update if I experience any of these things or anything different. I'll also let you know if I am back to improvement in my eczema. So stay tuned. Next week I'll have you an update. If you like the content that I'm offering to you, please make sure that you hit the like button as well as the subscribe button so that when new content posts, you are one of the first people to see it. It also helps this channel grow. I will see you later. Bye.